Hello everybody and welcome to the East Shore Wiffle Ball League. The matchup that you're about to see is between the Crawdads and the Slimes. Before we begin, let's take a look at the rosters. So for the Crawdads, we have Captain Eric Crawford, Brian Crawford, Rick Crawford, and Jacob Crawford, thus the name the Crawdads. For the Slimes, we have Captain Jonathan Rivera, Grayson White, and Devin Marcato. It looks like Jordan Swank and Kyle Beller will not be at this game, so it will only be Jonathan, Grayson, and Devin for this game. Just a little bit of analysis before this game. We do see the Slimes are undefeated. They are 3-0 as they defeated the GBs last week, and now the Crawdads being 0-0 because their game got rained out last week. This is going to be the first time that we see the Crawdads. So the Slimes trying to stay undefeated today as they face off against this team who we haven't seen yet, but the Crawdads are pretty much the oldest team in the league, so we'll see if they can hang with it. Let's get right on into the matchup. All right, leading off here for the Crawdads is Rick Crawford.
Hold on. What's your name? Devin? Devin, I'm Rick.
As he's being very friendly to the pitcher, Devin introducing himself before he sees the first pitch. And now the pitch as he hits it up the middle, gets past Devin. Devin with the throw over the first, not in time. And Rick Crawford with a hit. Next up, we have Jacob Crawford stepping to the play as he pops it up over on the right side. Grayson's going to catch that for the first out of the inning. Now Brian Crawford stepping to the plate as he says, "Take it easy on me, Devin," as he hits it up the middle. Jonathan's going to grab it. He's going to smack it like a cat over the Grayson for the second out of the inning.
That's good. Should I keep it going? Take it easy on me, Devin.
As Eric Crawford steps to the plate, also asking Devin to take it easy on him as he hits a ground ball back to Devin. It gets through. Grayson grabs it, though, tags Brian for the third out of the inning. Now we're heading to the bottom of the first. Leading off in the bottom of the first, Jonathan Rivera as he smacks it. High drive, center field. That ball's going to be gone for a solo shot as Jonathan Rivera able to put the Slimes on the board in his first at-bat, 1-0.
Are we blue? He's not going to take it. Home blue, yeah.
Now Grayson up to the plate as he grounds it down the third base line, and that's going to be a fair ball. Single for Grayson. Now Devin Marcato getting his first opportunity at the game as he laces it over the right center field. It gets past Jacob. Grayson's going to round third on his way home. Eric Crawford's going to cut it off. He throws it home, not in time, and it gets by. And it looks like Devin Marcato is going to get an extra base there, and he's going to end up on third. The Slimes up 2-0. Jonathan Rivera up as he watches ball four. Man on first and third here with no outs. Grayson White now up to the plate as Grayson smacks it. High drive center field. That is gone. A 3-run home run for Grayson White as he's able to drive it. And that is the 5-run inning mercy rule as we're going to be heading to the top of the second. Rick Crawford leading it off as he hits a ground ball over the left side. Jonathan throws it, and Rick's going to be safe as he's still batting 1,000.
Man. Ricky. Oh, did you hurt yourself? Did ya?
And Rick just said he pulled his hamstring. So that looks like he might be out for the rest of this game. He's going to unfortunately have to be pulled out. And now the Crawdads are going to be down to 3 players instead of 4. Very unfortunate injury here. So hopefully, he'll be able to recover quickly, and we'll maybe see him back on the diamond another day. Now, after that injury, we have Jacob Crawford at the plate as he watches ball four. We're going to have a man on first and second base. Brian Crawford now up to the plate as he hits it up the middle. And Eric Crawford hurdling the ball as now the bases are going to be loaded. Eric Crawford to the plate. High drive, left field. Jonathan able to catch it, and the bases are going to stay loaded with 1 out now. Now Brian Crawford back up as he lines it over to Jonathan. Jonathan throws it at Eric Crawford. Eric Crawford tagging up, and they're able to get a run there. The score now 5-1, but we're going to have 2 outs. Now Eric Crawford back up to the plate as he lines it up the middle. 1 run's going to score, and Brian Crawford's going to run, and 2 runs are going to score. The score is now 5-3 with a 2-run single by Eric Crawford. Jacob Crawford now up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and now we have a man on first and second. Now Brian Crawford up to the plate as he swings and misses for the final out of the top of the second. Now, the bottom of the second, Eric Crawford throws a pitch to Devin. Devin, line drive over the right side. I think it hits off of Jacob's hand, but we're going to say that's a base hit single. Now we have Jonathan Rivera stepping to the plate as he grounds it over the left side. Brian Crawford's going to grab it. He's going to throw it over to Jacob at second, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Good throw by Brian Crawford to get that out. Now, Grayson White up to the plate as he hits a fly ball up to the center field. Jacob bounces off his hand, but they're just going to tag second base to get the second out of the inning. Now, Devin Marcado up to the plate as he pops it up to center field. Brian Crawford tripping. Jacob Crawford's going to grab the ball as he throws it to Eric Crawford and Grayson. But we're going to see Devin advance. I thought maybe Grayson was going to go home there. He did not, as we have a man on second and third with 2 outs. Brian Crawford tripping there, as looks like he's okay. As now Jonathan Rivera swinging and missing for strike 3, and that's going to be the final out of the second inning, as now we're going to head into the top of the third. Eric Crawford up to the plate as he swings, ground ball to the left side, and that's going to be a single as Jonathan Rivera throws it. It gets a little bit away from Devin, but not too much damage, as now Jacob Crawford's up. Ground ball over the left side, and it was too slow as Jacob Crawford's going to lay out a single, man on first and second. Brian Crawford up now. Brian Crawford ground ball up the middle as now the bases are going to be loaded.
Yeah, bases loaded.
Now we have Eric Crawford stepping up to the plate. He hits a ground ball down the third base line as it hits off of Jacob Crawford. And now we're trying to determine if we think that was a fair ball. It sounds like it was foul. Looking at the slow-mo replay here, Jake was on the base, so he's definitely not out. But it looks like they're just going to call that a foul ball. And now the next pitch to Eric as he hits a ground ball to the left side, gets past Jonathan, and Jacob's going to score.
All right, tie ball game. No outs. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And it looks like Brian Crawford might have pulled his hamstring running into third base, but it sounds like he's going to be staying in this game as Jacob Crawford comes to the plate. He hits a ground ball. Brian kind of hobbling in, but Jonathan's going to peg him for the first out of the inning. The score is still 4-5. Brian Crawford now stepping to the plate as he hits a ground ball back to the pitcher Grayson. Grayson's going to peg Eric Crawford for the second out of the inning. Now Eric Crawford up to the plate as he swings and misses, and that's actually going to be the end of Game 1 as the Slimes win 5-4 against the Crawdads. The footage that you're seeing right now is actually the bottom of the third, but the bottom of the third shouldn't have happened because we actually miscounted the amount of runs the Crawdads had in person. We thought it was a tie ball game, but actually the Crawdads only had 4 runs. So the footage that you're seeing, all the stats from the bottom of the third are not going to count towards the stat book. This is just to show you guys what went on, but ultimately these at-bats don't count. As now we're going to see Grayson here walk it off as he hits a ground ball to the right side, and Jacob not able to tag Grayson in time as that would have been the run there to win the ball game either way. So the Slimes win either way, but there's one less run that's scored by the Crawdads, and I guess one less run scored by the Slimes as well. So final score actually 5-4, not 6-5, as we're going to be heading into Game 2. Now, Jacob Crawford leading off here in Game 2 as he's going to swing, ground ball over the left side. Devin throwing it over the first, not enough time, and Jacob's going to have a leadoff single. Now, Brian Crawford, ground ball over the left side. Devin over the Grayson. Grayson jumping up in the air, and he's going to be safe as it was a bad throw. Eric Crawford now up to the plate as he lines it over the left side, gets past Devin. Jacob going to be aggressive as he rounds third on his way home, and he scores. Now the score is 1-0. The Crawdads in the lead here in Game 2. Now, Jacob Crawford ground ball as Jonathan's not going to have a play, and now the bases are going to be loaded. And now Brian Crawford up to the plate as he lines it over the left side. That's going to get down. Eric Crawford's going to score. Jacob rounding third on his way home, and he's going to score as well, as now the score is 3-0. with Eric Crawford stepping to the plate. Eric Crawford line drive left center field, and that ball's gone. A 3-run shot for Eric Crawford, and that is going to be 6 runs, and the 5-run inning mercy rule is going to apply here in the top of the first. So now we're heading to the bottom of the first, and now Grayson leading it off as he strikes out. And now Jonathan Rivera up as he watches ball 4. There's 1 out here in the first inning, as now Devin Mercado up to the plate as he watches ball 4. And now man on first and second. Now Grayson White up to the plate as he pops it up over the left side, and that's going to get down, and that is going to be a base hit because the fair ball. Eric Crawford pegging Jonathan, but Jonathan was on third base. Good heads-up play by Eric Crawford, but Jonathan stayed on the bag. Now bases loaded for Jonathan Rivera as he watches ball 4, and that's going to be the first run for the Slimes. As Devin Mercado stepping to play with bases loaded as he hits a ground ball over the right side. Jacob not going to have a play as a run's going to score, and now the score is 6-2. Now Grayson White stepping to the plate as he hits a ground ball back to the pitcher Eric. Is Eric now throwing at Grayson, misses Grayson as 1 run's going to score, 2 runs are going to score, and as Grayson goes to third base, a ghost runner's going to score, and that's going to be 5 runs, and the 5-run inning mercy rule is going to apply, as now we're going to be heading to the top of the second. Jacob Crawford leading off here as he hits a ball over the left side, gets past Devin Mercado, and that's going to get stuck in the fence, actually go under the fence, and Jacob Crawford's going to get a ground rule double here to lead off the top of the second. Now, Brian Crawford up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and we have a man on first and second with no outs. Eric Crawford up to the plate, drives it high left field. That ball's gone. It was able to stay fair, and Eric Crawford able to get a 3-run home run to put the Crawdads up 9-5. Now, Jacob Crawford, ground ball to Grayson. Grayson throwing it over to Devin. Devin's going to tag the bag just in time for the first out of the inning. Brian Crawford now hits a ball over the left side. It's going to get down. Jonathan throws it over to Devin at first, but it's going to get by him, but that was a single anyways. Eric Crawford now up to the plate as he hits a ground ball down the left side. He gets past Jonathan, and that's going to get stuck in the fence, and that's going to be a ground rule double for Eric Crawford. Now Jacob Crawford up to the plate as he grounds it down the left field line. Jonathan tries to throw it. The ball curves way too much and goes out of play as 2 runs are going to score there, and that's going to be the inning mercy rule.
Is that 5? Yep, that's 5.
Now, starting in the bottom of the second, we have Jonathan Rivera as he watches ball 4. Devin Mercado up to the plate as he hits a fly ball to center field. Eric Crawford not able to get there, as now we have a man on first and second. And now Grayson White up to the plate as he hits it over the left side. Brian Crawford not able to get it, not able to range too much due to his hamstring injury earlier in the game, as now the bases are going to be loaded. Jonathan Rivera up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and now the score is going to be 11-6. Devin Mercado stepping to the plate, high drive, center field. That ball's gone. A grand slam for Devin Mercado as he's able to drive it to deep center field, and that is going to be our 5-run inning mercy rule as we're heading to the top of the third. Jacob Crawford watching ball 4, and he's going to get a leadoff walk. Brian Crawford up, hits it left side, off the fence, as that's just going to be a long single, but Jacob's going to be aggressive and end up on third base. And Brian hoppling over the second base, and he's going to take advantage because the pitcher did not have the ball in his hand. Devin Mercado was hanging onto the ball there over on that left side, and Brian took advantage of it, and he was able to advance. As now we have a man on second and third.
Oh, shortstop had it. I thought the pitcher had it.
And now, Eric Crawford stepping to the plate as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning. Now, Jacob Crawford up as he swings. Pop up. Grayson able to catch it, and that's going to be the second out of the top of the third. Brian Crawford, a pop-up as well, as Grayson's going to catch that. Some clutch pitching there by Grayson White as he's able to hold the Crawdads from scoring any runs in the top of the third as we're heading to the bottom of the third. Score 11-10 as Grayson White's going to watch ball 4. Now Jonathan Rivera up as he singles up the middle, and now we're going to have a man on first and second.
Hey man, a homer wins it.
Devin Mercado up to the plate. High drive, right field. Jacob hits off of Jacob's hand, and he's not able to get an out as the bases are now loaded with 0 outs. As Grayson White's up to the plate and he watches ball 4, and now the ball game is tied. The winning run is on third base with Jonathan Rivera up to the plate. Line drive to Eric Crawford as he's just not able to hold on to it. And that is going to be the end of this one. The Slimes win 12-11 on that line drive to the left side by Jonathan Rivera. And now the Slimes have won Game 1 and Game 2 as we're heading into Game 3. Jacob Crawford leading off here as he watches ball 4, and that's going to be a leadoff walk. But it doesn't look like he knows. And
I think that was 4 balls.
now he knows it's ball 4. And now Brian Crawford up as he pops it up, and no one's able to get it in no man's land, as now we're going to have a man on first and second to start off this Game 3. Now Eric Crawford up to the plate as he grounds it back to Devin Mercado. Devin flipping it over to Jonathan on the right side at first base, and that's going to be the first out. Jacob now up to the plate as he hits a ground ball. The pitcher hits off the pitcher's hand, and he's going to be safe as a run's going to score. Now the Crawdads have put the first one on the board, 1-0, as Brian Crawford ground ball up the middle. Jonathan's going to grab it. He's going to dive at second base, but not in time, and they're going to call him safe as a run did score on that, and the score is now 2-0. Eric Crawford now swinging and missing for the second out of the inning. Now Jacob Crawford back up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and the bases are going to be loaded here with 2 outs. And now Brian Crawford up to the plate as he pops it up. Devin not able to hold on to it, and a run's going to score, and the bases are going to stay loaded. The Crawdads now still up 3-0. And now Eric Crawford checks, swings, he doesn't go, and that's going to be ball 4, and that's going to walk home run. Score now 4-0. And Jacob Crawford's going to walk as well, and the score is going to be 5-0, as now the inning mercy rule is going to apply, and we're going to be heading into the bottom of the first. Now, Jonathan Rivera leading it off as he hits a ground ball back to Jacob. Jacob has the ball, throws to Brian, not in time, as Jonathan able to leg that single out. Now Grayson up, as now that's ball 4 the Grayson White, as now we have a man on first and second. Mercado up as he pops it up over the right side. Brian Crawford not able to get there, and the bases are going to be loaded with no outs here. And now Jonathan Rivera up as he pops it over the right side. Brian Crawford not able to catch it as it goes in and out of his hand, but they are able to get it now as they peg Devin there for the first out of the inning. But a run will score as now Grayson swinging and missing on a pitch outside the zone for the second out. Devin up to the plate. He lines it over the right side. That's going to hit off the base of the wall, as that is actually going to get stuck in the wall for a ground rule double. And it looks like one run's going to score as Grayson's going to stay at third since he was on first. So now we have a man on second and third base with 2 outs. Jonathan Rivera up to the plate. High drive center field. That ball's going to be gone. A 3-run home run for Jonathan Rivera. And with that 3-run home run, the 5-run inning mercy rule is going to apply, and we're going to be heading to the top of the second. Eric Crawford leading it off. High drive, left center field. That ball's gone. A solo home run for Eric Crawford, and he's going to run the bases on this one just to stay loose, as that home run takes the lead for the Crawdads, as now the score is 6-5.
Keep loose. Yeah. Keep those muscles warm.
And now Jacob Crawford up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and he's going to walk here. And now Brian Crawford up to the plate as he hits a ground ball back to Devin. Devin not going to have a play, as Grayson was just standing there not covering any bases. As now Eric Crawford up to the plate as he's going to watch ball 4, and now the bases are loaded with no outs here. Jacob Crawford up to the plate as he hits it over the left side. Devin not able to grab it, as Eric Crawford's going to score, and another run's going to score as well, a ghost runner, as Jacob's going to get into second base. A man on second and third. Brian Crawford up to the plate as he watches ball 4, and the bases are going to be loaded again. And now Eric Crawford up to the plate as he hits a ground ball over the left side. Grayson has it. Grayson's going to miss Jacob Crawford, as he's not going to be able to peg him there, as the score is now 10-5, and the 5-run inning mercy rule is going to apply yet again in this game as we head to the bottom of the second. Devin Mercado leading it off as he hits a ground ball, and that's just going to get out of that foul zone as Eric Crawford's going to take it and peg Devin for the first out of the inning. Now Grayson White watching ball 4 as now we're going to have a man on first base. Jonathan Rivera up as he watches ball 4, man on first and second with 1 out. Now Devin Mercado up as he swings and misses for the second out of the inning. Now Grayson White up to the plate, pop up, and Eric Crawford able to catch it. And that's going to be the end of the second inning as we're going to end the second inning with the score 10-5. Crawdads in the lead. Now heading into the top of the third, they're looking to get some insurance runs as Brian hits a ground ball to Grayson. Grayson flips it over to the first baseman, and that's going to be the first out of the third inning. Crawford now up to the plate as he hits a ground ball over to the left side. Jonathan not able to handle it, and Eric's going to be safe at first. Now Jacob Crawford up to the plate as he watches strike 3 for the second out of the top of the third. Bryant Crawford now up to the plate as he hits a ground ball over the left side. Jonathan's going to throw it over the second base, and that's going to be the third out of the top of the third. The Slimes down by 5 runs. They're going to have to get 5 runs here to tie at 6 to win here in the bottom of the third. Jonathan Rivera up as he hits a ground ball over the left side, and he's going to get a single to lead off the bottom of the third. Devin Mercado swinging and missing for the first out of the inning. Now Grayson White watching strike 3, and now there's 2 outs as the Slimes are 1 out away here from losing as Jonathan Rivera watches strike 3. And the Crawdads able to gain their first win of the season as they win 10-5 here to end this ball game, and that is going to be the end. The Slimes able to pick up Game 1 and Game 2, but the Crawdads able to win Game 3. That is the end of this one. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you guys next time.